Have you ever agreed to hosting a last-minute gathering or a dinner party at your home? You know, you're hanging out with friends and family and you blurt out, well, why don't we just do it at my house? And then you immediately think, what did I just do? Why did I say that? What have I gotten myself into? Well, I've got a secret weapon that's going to help alleviate a little bit about that panic and that stress. And I'm going to make you feel a little bit more confident saying yes to hosting those last-minute gatherings. I call it my dinner party prep in a box. And I want to share it with you today. That way you can create your own box. Because let's be honest, when you're hosting, it's all about planning the food. You're thinking about the menu, what you're going to be serving, what you need to start when, the timing of everything. Can something go in early? And then about maybe an hour before guests are due to arrive, you start setting the table. And that's when you begin to panic. You begin to stress. What are you doing on the table? How is this going to look nice? How are you going to impress your friends and family? I've got the solution. One box that's going to help set a beautiful table every time. And you're going to be able to use it all year round for any occasion. Because I want to make sure that hosting is fun and easy, not overwhelming. And that's what this dinner party prep in a box is going to help do. It's going to alleviate that pressure. Let's dive into it. Here's my box, or I should say my basket. Use whatever's going to work best for you to hold what you're going to be putting in the box. Very first thing that we're going to be talking about is the foundation for your table setting. What do you need to create a really lovely foundation? I always like having a tablecloth. Something neutral like this is going to be easy to style for any occasion. I also always like to have a table runner. Again, something neutral that you can build off and build around. Now, when you have a tablecloth and a table runner, you can pick between the two. You could either do the tablecloth for your dinner party, or you could do the table runner, or you could put the two of them together. Up to you. Now, if you really don't want to bother with tablecloth or table runner, another option is just to use craft paper. This is something that was really popular a few years ago. You don't see it used as often now, but it's still a great go-to. Put it down your table, or instead of something like craft paper, you could always use shorter wrapping paper, something that's really pretty. I like how this craft paper is neutral, that you can again kind of pair it with everything. You'll notice it'll work well with everything else that I have in my box. Now, these are three options for the foundation of your table setting. Some of you are going to be immediately wondering, well, those are going to look horrible on your table. They're not pressed, they're wrinkled. And that's where in my box, I always have a spray bottle. Something that's going to help with the trick that I share with you in so many of my videos. You take the spray bottle once you've put your tablecloth and or runner out, give it a really good spritz. And that's going to help release those wrinkles, those creases. It's not going to give you a perfectly pressed tablecloth, but it's going to really look so much nicer. Make sure that if you have a tablecloth and or runner in your box, you also include a spray bottle for water. Next, cloth napkins. Now, you might not be like me and my family where we use cloth napkins for every meal. But if you're having friends and family over for a gathering, definitely pull out the cloth napkins. Elevate your dinner party. I would suggest having anywhere from 6 to 12 in your box, depending on how many people you tend to typically have over. Also, that way you know where they are and they're easy to grab and you have them available. With your cloth napkins, you want to elevate the look of them. So, have a set of napkin rings, something that can work with anything else that you're going to have on your table. Or if you're somebody who doesn't really want napkin rings or it's not your style, twine or ribbon are great go-to options. Look at this spool of twine. How many different napkins can you tie with this twine? Great way to dress up your napkin on your table setting. Next thing in my box is really kind of going around the centerpiece. I want to keep this easy and light and not have to think about much. I'm also kind of going off of an idea that when you're having a last minute gathering, there's a good chance that you're going to be doing it buffet style, that there's not sit down or where people are being served. Or you're maybe going to have the food in the middle of your table. So you don't want a lot of things in the centerpiece of your table. So ideas that I have that are great to keep in my prep box. Little votive candles and candle holders. I have 6 because I can then put them in sets of 3. I can group them in sets of 2 along the table, sporadically around other things. But I think it's a good base quantity, and they're so small, they're easy to deal with. But keep the candles with them. That way they're easy to just set out quickly. If votive candles aren't your thing, or in addition to, glass taper candle holders. These kind of help elevate the look and feel of your table. Plus, you can mix them with your votive candles. Make sure that you've got your taper candles. Also, with your taper candles, get yourself some of this Simply Tacky. It is a perfect way to keep your candles straight in your candle holders. In fact, I have a whole video that goes through all of the different ways that you can keep your candles straight, and then sharing with you the best one. This is it. But I'll make sure I put a link to that video down below in case you want to check it out. Another part of the centerpiece, cute little bud vases. Get a variety of them. They're so inexpensive and a great way to dress up any table. I also have 6 of these because you can mix and match them together, whether they're going to be in sets of 3 lined around the table, however you want to put them on your table setting. That's kind of what I'm going to be using for centerpieces. You can see, keep it glass, keep it simple, or just keep it one element, whether they're all going to be silver, they're all going to be ceramic, all glass, all gold. But that way they can all work together. You can mix and match them and decide how much of each you want to use. Other things to have ready in your prep box. Get a towel for your bread basket. I think a lot of times you remember that you're going to put your bread out, but you forget about a towel, something pretty that you can use for your bread basket. Have a tray that you can put your salt, pepper, and anything else on. Little bowls for like those, nuts, all those things that you might want to have on your table setting. Also, don't forget a lint roller. If you have pets like I do, you might want to take a quick little roll on some of your fabric just to make sure anything is off. Since you've got candles, use a lighter or matches, have that in your box. And then the last thing, to really help make your guest feel special, keep place cards and markers in your box. That way at the last minute you can write your guest's name on it, put it in front of where they're going to sit, makes them feel so special, and they know that you want them there at your party. Now I'm going to take all of these pieces and show you how quick and easy it is to set a beautiful table. Then I'm going to share with you a few extra pieces you can add to your box. The nice thing about this box is that you get to fill it with pieces that actually work with your dishes. It's not random. You're being intentional with what you select to go in the box. For this table, I'm going to keep everything neutral. That way you can see how everything works well together. For the centerpiece, I'm spreading things out a little bit, something on each end and then maybe something in the middle. That way it feels balanced. But if you're planning to actually put serving dishes on the table, I would definitely scale this back. Just pull a few pieces from the box so you still have the look, but you're leaving enough room for your food. Other things you can keep in this box are cordless lamps, a second set of napkins in a different texture or color, or maybe different colored candles. Place card holders would be fabulous, or even a carafe for water. I've actually put together a PDF with all of these items and some styling tips. You can download it using the link in the description below. as you can see, using timeless neutral pieces are going to enable me to have a beautiful table setting over and over again. And then I can always switch out the flowers, or maybe the candles to a different color, different napkins, switch out those napkin rings, little pieces that are going to change the look and the feel of the table setting each time. And the best thing about this dinner party prep box is you can tailor it to you. You can put in there what works for you, your color scheme, your style, the different elements that are always your go-to when you're setting a table. And you can take that box and put it away in a cupboard, in a pantry, under a bed, someplace that is always easily accessible, and everything will be together in one place as your go-to last-minute dinner party prep box. And when you're hosting, it's not about creating the most beautiful, elaborate table setting ever. It's about setting a table that feels welcoming to your friends and family. And this party prep box, it's not going to make that last-minute dinner party perfect. It's going to make it easier, less stressful for you, so you can focus on what matters most, the people around it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you enjoyed my video, please give me a thumbs up. It really helps my channel. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And I look forward to seeing you next time here at the table. Bye.